Alright. Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned the Better Place! Episode 89. What? No, Ace Attorney Trilogy, the game. Episode 89. Ace Attorney Trilogy, the few games, actually, not just one. One pack. Just start it! The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain, in detail, the events in the restaurant that day.
Oh, oui. La victim, Monsieur Elg, came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mon Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all?
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oh, oui.
Dude, people have been lying literally in every single case, and that's the first time I've actually seen him, like, come down on him for it. Usually he's just like, try to be more truthful with your testimony, okay? For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Alright, the victim came to the restaurant alone. Was he alone at his table as well?
Mais, oui. I saw him from the kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Ha! Unfortunately for you, Trite, yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. Ugh. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet.
Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. The old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip and nothing more. So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. He already said 5 minutes after. Let's say, what time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh, no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived, so the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
Ha ha ha. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. Just after 2 p.m. Okay, so that is not consistent because it took, well, hold on. The autopsy was between 1:30 and 2:30. And, like, it took the dude, like 5 minutes to find a payphone. Oh, I guess he wasn't out for that long, but... Spending 10 minutes of your life every Monday at 1:30. That's right. And then he died like right after he just said he died like right after he won the lottery. So that would have been at like 1:35. Okay, alright. But perhaps this won't do yet, but we should try it anyway. Hell yeah! I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
What?
I don't know what the hell that word is.
What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be the show Mon Elk was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder... You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu.
Get to the point, Wright, if you have one.
That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30.
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time! No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum. Catching a show that was already over. There is only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Trebienne that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this, Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Whenever they ask for proof, save the game. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Narg!
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright, if your theory is to stand up to examination by the court. You must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden.
We don't have evidence of that.
Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed?
Perhaps the kitchen. Like, that's what I would assume. But we don't have evidence of that.
found covered in unidentified fingerprints. Oh yeah, that's right. That was in the kitchen. So maybe they took that as well. Yeah, I'm gonna say inside Trabian. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Trabian. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Trabian is La Kitchen. The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Alright, I'm gonna go with the small bottle. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Trabian.
Eh? Qui? Quoi? Oil? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elg visited an otolaryngological kit clinic when was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Bore! Glenn Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu.
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No.
Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg?
Never! I could not do such an horrible thing!
No! Mr. Godot. The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea by now how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend?
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
No, absolutely no. I simply,
Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel.
Oui, it is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him! I swear it, you must believe me!
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was another man.
I knew it!
Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Alright, it's true, in the body in the kitchen. Did you carry the body by yourself?
Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie too?
When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
But why did you hide the bodies?
A man forced me to do it. I had no choice.
What man? Who was he?
No, I cannot say. I fear for my life.
He's really scared.
You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why would you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse.
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
You know, monsieur.
Yes?
Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
And a bit too male.
I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason, so I'll just have to prove it with evidence. Okay, there was a reason. It's just like, it's weird to say that this is a contradiction, because I'm actually just confirming something, rather than opposing it. Give me Jean's loan contract. Show me potato salad. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, Jesuit was. I was weak and I borrowed the money.
This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong. La Tigre. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket, was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it, I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand, not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, Trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well, your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Bam, bam, bam. Save my progress up to this point, yeah. Oh my, playing some Ace Attorney. Let's go. Ooh.
So we're finally going to see the Tigre on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick.
I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the Tigre told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know. But if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe.
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot!
Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. Ah! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too. Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for that. Grah!
Ah!
Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too. Would you mind? What'd you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe yous didn't hear me. I said who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Gah. Too cool.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, masked boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Gulp. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today.
Get a grip, Nick!
She says from under the table. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in the office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Yous wanna check my alibi, just ask Violetta. So he just, like, says her name wrong on purpose, then. Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please. Ah! Oh, what is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you's gonna borrow the cash from me! That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the Tigre. Ha! I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute, that's really not... This witness is, how can I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off, yours too. Very well, I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You's better be listening, I said I got business to take care of, big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick!
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Okay. No irrelevant pressing, but we can still press the relevant ones, can't we? I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. December. So can we just present that immediately, like... What? Oh, we're not outing you as a phony Phoenix Wright yet? This is relevant. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the Tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Alright, never mind then. It's too dangerous to press things without knowing where they might end up. Better just focus on gathering information. Now then, Mr. Tigre, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning? My time ain't free, you hear? You's better remember that. If I miss that bus, someone's gonna pay. Alright, it's tied up, man. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Yous wanna check my alibi, just ask Violetta. Perhaps Glen Elg could be one of these whales. Do we present Glen Elg as a profile for this? As like, yes, and he is one of them? Let's try it. Okay, guess not. I suppose we will press this instead. So I take it you get a lot of customers at your black market loan office. It's tough for the little guys these days. Small businesses are feeling the pinch. Bosses of companies like that want to get in good with me. I'm their best friend. I see. That's very admirable of you, witness. Yeah, well, tender lender's motto is win through compromise, you know? Win through compromise? What is that supposed to mean? Compromise the customer to win. That's what it means. You's got it? With best friends like you, who needs enemies? Here, let me spell it out for yous all. You don't pay me back within 3 days, Spiky. I take what's due, and your stupid hair. Yous follow what I'm saying? But I'm not one of your customers. Should I ask more about Tenderlender or not? Yes. Mr. Tigre, what do yous want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail... This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. Remember the rules! Pressing the way... Okay, fine. Forget that, then. Let's press this, then. By Violetta, you're talking about the Cadaverini family's... Yeah, you don't want to cross them, or you's gonna wind up sleeping with the fishes. Once the Godfather finds out you's been dragging Violetta through the mud, he'll do ya in. Sorry, I couldn't quite put it all together towards the end there.
He said that just like Viola, didn't he?
I get the feeling this might not be the right time to probe him about her. Let's do it anyway. Mr. Tigre, what do yous want? Oh, okay. Never mind then. Let's see if we can get some info out of Maya here.
Just think, all you have to do is press him on something irrelevant, and bam, $50,000!
Get real, Maya. How about you pay back the money then? Your allowance should cover it.
Hey, I'm no idiot, you know.
Well, I'm certainly not the one who thought that $50,000 was free money. Anyway, I need to work this guy without pressing his testimony too hard.
But his testimony is pretty solid as it is.
I admit nothing jumps out at me as a contradiction. But I've got to find an opening somewhere, or I need to make one. So maybe we just, like, press every statement, but then don't press harder? I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Très Bien. Heh heh, you's got a big mouth, right? You's trying to say I was in on some mob hit? Is that what you trying to say? Where's your proof then? Evidence, yes, well... For an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from loan shark to lawyer, a beginner's guide, yeah? Ah, I see you're the studious type, Mr. Tigre. Very good. Ha! Why don't you ask him to represent you sometime, Trite? Yeah, what should I do? I think we should press harder on this one. God damn it. Okay, here's what we do. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Might not be the right time, okay. But we have to press something, and they're specifically saying that none of them are contradictions. I think I didn't press this one yet. This is the only one I haven't tried to press harder. Yeah, okay. Mr. T. Oh, yeah, there we go again. There we go again. Oh, wait. This one was actually working out and I missed a couple of things. He said something about, like, It's important to establish what the victim was doing December 3rd. Or something like that. Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please. Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. The day you was talking about I was in the office too, never saw that kid before. Alright, here's where we save. I know you did, because this dude has a meeting in his calendar thing. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the Tigre. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Dude, my voice hurts so much from doing this stuff right now. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Ruh-roh. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth. Ha. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh, yes. Would you mind indulging the court, witness? He never actually met the victim. That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Alright, that's gonna do it for this episode, because my throat is dying. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.